Tina and I am back, and I am here with a really simple get ready with me video featuring this look here. And we are on our way to another concert in the park, and I wanted to do something that had a little kick to it but still was very simple and comfortable to wear. And of course I had to pile on the SPF, and I do have my travel SPF to spritz on us when we're headed into the actual park and into the sun. So if you want to see how I created this look, and I am using the Urban Decay Naked Ultimate Basics palette. I already did a video using this palette and giving my first impressions, but I still wanted to go ahead and try it out some more to see how I feel about it, and also just see how it wears throughout the day, because that first impressions, it was a couple of hours that I wore that look for, but today is going to be a real test. And I also used another one of the Liquid Moon Dust shadows, and this time I am wearing a bright pop of color on the lips. This is Madison Liquid Lipstick from Anastasia Beverly Hills. I don't know how I feel about this because it is streaky, but we'll see how this works throughout the day. But if you want to see this look, then stay tuned and I will talk to you soon. Hi there guys. So as usual, we're starting out with a clean, fresh face. And the first thing I'm going in with is this Benigma All-in-One Face Cream. I'm going to apply this as my moisturizer today. I received this in the mail and I wanted to test it out and get your opinion of this cream as well. I want to do a review and I can get a discount code and all that included. But before I do that, I want to know how you guys feel about it. This contains bee venom, manuka honey, and shea butter. And I will say it does make my skin feel really tight and moisturized without being oily. And it doesn't add any over dewiness to my skin at all. And I do absolutely like how it feels and I like how it smells, but I want to know how you guys feel about it and if you want me to do a review. It does say it's cruelty free and I've been enjoying it, so let me know. And then the next thing I'm going to do is apply some eyeshadow primer around my brows, because we're going to fill in these brows, and these brows need to last through some sunshine and some sweat. So I'm going to prime my brows and just blend it in using my handy dandy eyebrow toothbrush and just brush that product through my brows to help disperse everything and remove any excess. Then we're going to fill in our brows using the Brow Beater Brow Pencil from Urban Decay in the shade Neutral Brown. I'm going for a lighter look today, so I'm going for the lighter color. I also use dark, but today we're just using Neutral Brown. And I use this pencil to fill in the sparse areas in my brows and also to create that defined shape and extend the tail end of my brow. And again, I just outline around the brows and create some hair-like strokes as well. And I bring that tail of my brow a little bit further out. Now I'm going to grab my Dior All-in-One 3D Brow Kit in the shade Brown and my Paula Eye Definer brush. And I'm going to mix the two shades together in this little duo and apply it to my brows to help spread out the brow pencil, as well as fill in the extra gaps, because I find that filling in the gaps of my hair with powder creates a much softer and more natural look to the brows. So I'm just going ahead and filling in those gaps with the brow powder. And then to set everything in place, because we need these brows to stay put all day, I'm going to use my Brow Tamer Flexible Hold Tinted Brow Gel from Urban Decay. This is in the shade Dark, and I've really been loving this brow gel. It doesn't leave my brows feeling crispy or hard. They just stay in place and look very natural. Now I'm grabbing my Urban Decay Anti-Aging Eyeshadow Primer Potion, and I'm just going to apply that all over my lids to help prevent creasing of our eyeshadows throughout the day. And this is also going to help to intensify the eyeshadow shades that we put down. Now let's grab our concealer. This is the Naked Skin Weightless Complete Coverage Concealer in the shade Medium Dark Warm from Urban Decay. And I'm just going to apply that directly beneath my brows to help clean up the shape as well as act as a highlight. And I'll blend that out using my Anastasia Beverly Hills number 18 concealer brush. I love this concealer brush. I don't know, I just love it. But any defined shape brush will work. So if you have a very small thin shader brush or just another concealer brush that has a defined shape, that will work to create that sharp line underneath the brows and help pull that concealer downwards onto the brow bone area. And then I'll go ahead and blend out the excess product using my Real Techniques Deluxe Crease Brush. And I'll just blend that product downwards onto the brow bone and a little bit onto the inner tear duct area and over the eyelid space. And this is just going to help brighten up the base for our eyeshadows. Now I'm going to grab my Urban Decay Naked Ultimate Basics palette. And the shade I'm going to go in with is Commando, which is a neutral tone transition shade for me. I'm just going to buff that in my crease area and brow bone using my Eddie Funkhauser large blending brush. And this brush is so soft. I love it so much. And Eddie Funkhauser as a brand may be coming to Ulta soon, guys. So let Ulta know you want to see Eddie Funkhauser in store. Now I'm going back into the palette and I'm grabbing two shades, Faith and Lockout, which are just deeper neutral brown shades. And I'm going to mix the two shades together to get a medium tone brown that suits my skin tone. And I'm going to use the same brush and blend that in the outer lid and outer crease area just to create a little bit of shading and dimension, and just buff it back and forth using windshield wiper motions and circular motions. Then I'll grab Extra Bitter from the palette, which is a rusty brown shade, like a burnt bitter orange shade, and I'm going to also apply a little bit of that in the outer lid and outer crease area. Just going back and forth. I'm not doing anything really precise with this. I'm just building up the color and the shading on that outer lid area. And I'll go in with a clean brush and just blend out the edges on the brow bone area so we don't have any harsh lines.
I have Summer Eve, which you guys know are like to cleanse your vagina.
Did she just say to cleanse your vagina?
Hey guys, what's up?
Yeah, I thought she said the thing about Summer Eve.
She just said to cleanse your vagina.
But isn't that what it's for?
I mean, it is, but...
That was kind of the setup. How else are you going to say that?
But is she just going to be like, yo, cleanse up your vagina?
Don't vagina needs cleansing? Oh, talking about that.
But why does she have it in her makeup?
Pose.
Whose vagina needs cleansing?
Pose.
I could not deal with that conversation, guys. Anyway, we're going back into the palette. I'm grabbing the two lightest shades, which is Blow, which is a satin type of pinky ivory or a peachy ivory shade, and then Pregame, which is a yellow ivory shade. And I'm going to mix the two together, and I'm going to apply that using my Real Techniques Bold Metals number 200 brush. But that wasn't working out, so I went back into the palette and grabbed the shade Nudie and Pregame and mix those two together to apply on the lid space just to brighten up that area and add a little bit of a lighter tone. And then I blend out the edges using that Eddie Funkhauser blending brush. Now let's move to the face. I'm going to grab my Cover FX Clear Cover Invisible Sunscreen. This has SPF 30 and we're going to be in the sun like I said, so let's apply this all over our skin. And I just apply a couple of pumps. It has a very smooth, almost slippery silicone feel to it. It feels like a primer, and I love this so much. And again, with the Beadnigma cream, it doesn't interfere with anything else that I apply, so it really didn't interfere with this sunscreen at all. And I'm also grabbing the Cover FX Custom Blot Drops. This is for oil control, and I'm just going to apply that in the T-zone area. That looks so funny. But we're going to blend that in specifically over my nose, in my cheek area next to my nose, and in my forehead region where I get very oily and very greasy and shiny. And I'm just going to blend that out using my fingers. This is another oil control product that I've been really enjoying as well. Now I'm going to grab my concealer, which is the Naked Skin, again, concealer, the Weightless Complete Coverage Concealer. This shade is dark neutral, and I'm just going to apply that beneath my eyes, and I'm going to mix in a little bit of this color correcting fluid, also from Urban Decay in the shade Peach. I'm just going to dot that right over the concealer, and this is going to help to lighten and brighten that concealer. And I'm just going to blend this out using tap-in motions with my Dampen Beauty Blender, and I'm making sure that I pull some of that into my inner tear duct area where I need some brightness, because girl, that is where I have the most darkness, and it always seems to darken up no matter what I do, so I always try to add a little bit of bright concealer to that spot just to make sure it doesn't look too dark and too depressing like I need a nap. Now I'm gonna grab the Shape Tape Concealer from Tarte because I felt like I needed a little bit more coverage, plus I wanted to try this out, and so I'm just dabbing a little touch of that under my eyes. This is the shade Deep, and I'm just gonna tap that out again using the Dampen Beauty Blender. And I like this concealer. I do really like it. I just don't think it's earth shattering. I think there are other concealers that are just as good, such as the NARS Radiant Creamy Concealer that a lot of people have been complaining about, that it creases. I love that concealer, and I love the Urban Decay concealers as well. Now I'm going to grab this OFRA Beverly Hills highlighter, which is a pinwheel of 5 shades. And I'm grabbing the lightest shade, which is an icy white, on a little pencil brush. And I'm applying that directly to the inner tear duct area to brighten up that spot. And again, I'm trying to eliminate the shadows, guys. So I'm really trying to brighten up and add a highlight to that area. And then I'll blend out the edges using just a small blend-in brush, just to make sure that it's not too harsh or intense, because the eye look is very matte and very simple. So we don't want to overwhelm it with that inner tear duct highlight and just look really crazy. Now I'm going to grab the shade Lethal from the Urban Decay palette, which is that matte red tone brown, and I'm just going to apply that in the outer crease and outer V area using that Eddie Funkhauser blending brush, and just buff that in to add some dimension. And then I'm also going to grab the shade Blackjack, which is, I say this is a blackened brown shade. It's not really a complete black. And I'm going to use this again on the same brush just to blend in the outer V and outer crease area to add some dimension. And I got a little bit of harshness right there. I think the primer probably caught onto that eyeshadow. So I'm going to go back in and just apply a little bit more and blend it out a little bit more and try to fade out that harshness. And you just build it up, go back and forth. And this brush is so soft again, so it works really well with blending. So I just create that little dimension. And now we can go ahead and grab our mascara. This is the Too Faced Better Than Sex mascara. I think everybody knows by now what mascara I'm going to use. I just love this mascara. It's hands down my favorite mascara, and I will forever and ever use it. And I'm just making sure that I fully volumize those lashes. I'm going to grab one of the Urban Decay Moondust liquid shadows. This is the shade Zap, and I'm going to apply it on my fingertips and tap it over the center of my lids. I want a very subtle, shimmery lid, a little pop to my lid without it being too overwhelming. So I'm using my finger just to apply this glitter very sparsely. And you see it's a very subtle pop of shimmer on my lid, but it adds that little bit of interest and a little bit of intrigue to my eye look, and I really like how it turned out. And I decided, you know what, that inner tear duct looked a little too bright, so I'm going to grab the golden bronze shade from the OFRA highlight pinwheel and just blend it over that inner tear duct area. And I think that looks a little bit better, and it ties in more with the golden glitter on the lid. Now we're going to grab our lashes. These are the Studio Effects Wispies from Ardell, and I love these lashes so much, guys. They're a little pricier than the regular Wispies. Yeah, but I just love the effect, and it's worth it to me. And you can always use coupons to get a better price on it or wait for a sale. But these lashes, I definitely recommend you check these out. And are you guys ready for an eyelash fail right now? Here it comes. What the hell is going on? But we're going to go ahead and just pop those on and secure them in place. I'm getting as close to the lash line as possible so this looks nice and as close to natural as we can get it. Now, I'm sorry guys, but I forgot to hit record with my foundation, but I am just using the Clinique Acne Solutions BB cream in the shade Deep, and I apply that all over my skin using my Marc Jacobs The Face 3 brush, and I just buff that all over my skin. I love this foundation. I call it a foundation even though it's a BB cream because it gives me the coverage that I need without being heavy or cakey. It just doesn't feel like a BB cream to me. That coverage that I get is definitely not BB cream worthy. It's a foundation. Now I'm going to grab my Marc Jacobs Precision Marker in the shade Blacker. This is just a black liquid liner, and this is waterproof. I love this liquid liner. I'm just going over the lash line to make sure I cover up that lash glue. And for my lower lashes, I'm grabbing my MAC Extended Play Giga Black Lash Mascara. And I'm just making sure those lower lashes pop out against my lower lash line because I am not going to be wearing a lower waterline liner. I just want to keep it light and fresh like I said before. And now to set everything in place, I'm going to go in with the La Prairie Cellular Treatment Loose Powder. And this is in Translucent 2. I love this loose powder, guys. Like, I've never been in love with a translucent loose powder, but this one just fits me so well. It is a little bit pricey, but it feels so great on the skin. It sets everything in place. I am matte without being cakey. It blends in with my skin without giving me a flashback. And it's just smooth and it makes your skin look airbrushed. It's great. It has this nice blurring effect and I just love it. I'm going to grab some of that powder also under my eyes and tap it in with the Dampen Beauty Blender. I had used the Tarte Powder Player brush before with all over my face, and I'm just going to go back in with that brush and clean up the excess powder under my eyes and just blend everything in. Now for my cheeks, I'm going to grab the Laura Geller Baked Gelato Vivid Swirl Blush in the shade Guava, which is my favorite blush of all time, and I'm going to blend that in using my Zoeva blush brush. And this blush is nice and soft and it has a subtle glow to it, so it's not fully matte, so it does look very skin-like, and I just love this shade on my skin tone, so I definitely recommend you check this one out. And I'm just going to blend out the excess using my powder brush just to make sure we don't look too harsh, because I never like harshness. Now I'm going to grab this Black Up Contour Duo. This is in shade number 3, and I'm just going to blend that in the hollows of my cheeks using my Marc Jacobs The Shape brush. And this is a nice powder as well. It's a new product that I am trying out, but it blends in really nicely and the tone is not too warm and it's not too neutral where it looks dirty. It's a happy medium between a bronzer and a contour shade, so I can use it on my hairline as well and just blend it in to give my face some dimension. I'm also going to grab the highlight shade from the palette and pop it on my cheekbones. This is a very subtle highlight, guys. It might as well have not even been in this palette. I can probably use it under my eyes, but it's definitely not going to give me a highlight on my cheeks. So instead, we're going to grab our MAC Mineralized Skin Finish in the shade Petticoat, which is a beautiful highlight for my skin. It's a pinky golden highlight. And I'm just going to pop that on my cheeks using my MAC 133 face brush and just blend out the excess using this large powder brush from Sephora. Now I'm going back into the eyeshadow palette and I'm grabbing the shades Blackjack and Lethal on a MAC 242 and just running it against the lower lash line area to add a little smoky effect and tie in the lid area with the lower lash line. If I leave it bare and leave it stark, it's not going to look complete. So I'm just tying the look together with this little bit of shading on the lower lash line area and just blend it in so it gives a nice smoky effect. And again, it ties everything together and looks really complete. Now I'm going in with the lips. And for my lips, I'm going to go in with a lip liner. This is the shade Cyber World from MAC. And it's just a matte berry toned shade. And I'm just going to outline my lips with this before I go in with my lip color. And for the lip color, I'm using my Anastasia Beverly Hills liquid lipstick in the shade Madison. And this is a fuchsia shade. It's a purpley pink. It's a little bit deeper and richer, so it looks a little bit more flattering than a bold pink on my skin tone. And I'm just going to apply that all over my lips. And I found that I did need to layer this a little bit because it does come off a little bit patchy and sheer in some spots. So I'm just layering this up and seeing how it applies. I really love the color. And it did last a pretty long time, so I'm willing to do a little bit extra and work a little bit harder for this lip color. But here you go, guys. This is the finished look. And it's nice and simple, but it still makes a statement, especially with the lips. So I definitely think you can go with a simple look. I think the palette worked out really well, and then the lips just added that extra pop that we needed.
Alright guys, so hopefully you enjoyed this get ready with me video. I really like how this look turned out. It's really, it's a really simple look, but it's still beautiful. And these lashes, I am really enjoying these Studio Effect lashes from Ardell. It's like an amped up wispy lash, and I think I'm gonna get a couple more because they are really nice and they're comfortable as well. So I definitely like those. The lips, I'm still a little bit on the fence about, but I'm gonna bring this along and see if I need to touch up. But I'll show you clips of the concert and my outfit and my husband's outfit, and I'll also give you an update on how the makeup wore. Right now, everything looks matte and in place and situated, not too matte and cakey. It just looks very,
you know, like my skin cool and nice. I'm wash my face with a kick swap, and I just love how everything looks right now. And enjoy the little update that I'll give you with how this makeup wore later on in the day. And as usual, I'll leave a full list of the products used down below in the description box in case you missed anything and you want to check out some of the products. And until my next video, which will be very soon, I'll talk to you. Bye guys. And here is my outfit, guys. I just wore cropped light blue destroyed denim. These are from Zara with a dark brown belt, and my shoes are from Steve Madden, and my top is just a simple midriff top with a high neckline, which I really enjoyed, and my little ponytail. And here's my husband and this bee. This bee almost stung me, guys, so many times, but he's just wearing a black and green tank top with his jeans, and he is loving his little red sneakers. He put so much time into finding these sneakers, but he loves his sneakers, and that's what we wore. Really casual, and we were just having a lot of fun, guys. And them nothing on them balance for the people. Talk about better. And them a fight and yo. Talk about better, you want talk about. Talk I don't talk about we don't have Wi-Fi. Don't talk about we don't have Decay. Don't talk about we don't have radio. And don't talk about we're having a bashment party. The the morning. Like Wesley Scott. Start with my story. So we're having a bashment party. So just rock till morning light. Bashment party. What? I gotta get it. But we are cut and got you, call loving our way out. Don't know, we don't know the pussy them.
Big up all my Kingstonians in the building. But you have some people everywhere.
Watch my face, how we done that. Tell them stop them, mama, tell them like.
Me come from St. Thomas, Jamaica, me a country you. Big up all Central people for your song.
You know it's all not the move off of the mat, right? Alright, babes. Yeah. No, y'all fucking up, man. We are in. Me fuck up. Hey, come on,
I'm just saying, like I said, all the beautiful song, like you know, Lord, that the single. I'm just saying, like I said, the single ladies, you know, beautiful too. Beautiful ladies, make some noise, please. Woo!
Your blessings descended. Please try and protect them. Befriend them. Befriend them. Your blessings descended. Try and protect them. The enemy.
Yes, baby.
The enemy. the rising sun. Three little birds were at my doorstep, singing sweet songs of melodies pure and true, singing, this is my message to you.
You coulda come from Rima, or you come from jungle. Coulda come from firehouse, or you come from the wild.
One blood, one blood, one blood.
Telling you,
I'm telling you.